Today I have with me Kris Jordan, who is the owner of Garvin's, which is a sewer and plumbing company in outside of Denver, Colorado. Kris and I met actually via BNI, and has been just a wonderful person to know for a long time. But I have you on here today because just kind of like to go through what kind of we did together, what the experience is like for you. And as you know, I'm always looking to work with other trades folks. So just kind of going over what was necessary and what has worked well and hopefully nothing has not worked well, but happy to kind of hear the good and the bad. Um, but with Garvin's, we were able to help them find some savings on their merchant processing with their current vendor. We're helping to help them save with their uniforms and linens with their current vendor, and then their logging devices for vehicles found some a pretty decent amount of percentage savings there as well. So, Kris, I'll kind of turn it over to you and just say if you want to introduce yourself and kind of what you do, and then also just kind of go over how this all worked for you.
Yeah, I think you did a great job at introducing me. I'm the general manager. It's my family's company, and we're third generation. Um, and so I feel like we've had a lot of like long established relationships. So having you come in and look at things with fresh eyes was really helpful. Um, so yeah, we with the merchant processing, that was really, I think, the entry point into working with you because we were really frustrated with how much we were spending. It's like we could buy a house with how much we're spending. And um, so to be able and previous efforts to work with Service Titan was our provider, and our previous efforts to get any changes there were just not happening. And so the fact that you guys were able to do anything there was really fantastic.
Okay, good. That's always good to hear. And that was actually or you guys were the first company I work with that was working with Service Titan that kind of allowed me to then go out to other folks in the trade space and say, hey, if you're working with Service Titan, I know oftentimes they're telling you there's not much, there's no wiggle room on their end, but we have a great case study to say that there actually is. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, Similarly, with our uniforms and linens, I was feeling very frustrated with our relationship. I probably won't renew with the company because I feel like renew with the linens company because I feel like a lot of their practices are predatory, and you kind of hinted to me that you agreed. Um, but they were also just really overcharging us. And so you were able to look at the areas where they just had weird charges on there, charges that they had told us they had taken off that they hadn't. And, you know, running a business with, you know, over 35 people, I don't have the time to look at the minutia of those things. And so to be able to send you guys those statements, have you negotiate, and then come back to me with the savings. And I was totally open with for switching vendors, and we didn't even need to because you were just able to negotiate a better price. And honestly, the contract we were in would have made it really expensive to leave anyway. So to know that I'm locked into something, but that I could at least optimize what I'm locked into, was really helpful as well.
Yeah. And going forward as we get closer to the end of that contract, obviously happy to have the continued support that we're providing and hopefully find a vendor that will work out better for you in a lot of different ways.
I feel like my contract is about the length of a mortgage. So in 30 years,
30 years, yeah.
we'll be
30 years. 30 years fixed rate.
renegotiating that contract.
Nice.
And then with the GPS units, it's not even just GPS. What's the official name for it? The cameras and
Electronic logging devices. So we call them
yes.
ELDs. Yep.
Yep. So with those, we had been with our vendor and we're happy with them. But we did come up on renewal, and when we talked to them, they're like, "Yeah, no, we're not changing anything on your pricing." And we were okay with the pricing, and I told them we were okay with the pricing, but when you came back with, your findings, I think you found us like a 20, what was it, 20,
It was, it
25%
was actually
savings.
45%. It was almost half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A significant
Yeah.
savings. And we were able to go back to our current provider and be like, hey, we're going to be able to get significant savings. And they're like, okay, thanks, bye. And didn't. And so for us, we're like, well, that shows that loyalty to us. So it felt fine to be able to move, capture that savings, have I think it was a little bit better of a product what we got when we changed, partly because technology is always changing and things are
Yep.
improving. So actually making that change gave us a better product for less price. It was better product in like the reporting capabilities, so more like the user side, the admin facing side
Yeah. The user
was
experience.
yeah, was a lot better. The devices themselves were, you know, not that much of a change, and really easy to swap out one for the other.
Mhm.
Really no brain damage in the swap because that's one thing like with changing things, sometimes it's scary because you're like, yeah, I get to save money, but it better be worth it for all the work that goes into it. And it really, in this particular case, it wasn't that much work. It was really a pretty even swap. So that was great to be able
Nice.
to, um, you know, save money, get something better, and it wasn't a headache to make the swap.
Yeah. You still have on all your hair, unlike myself. Easier said than done.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
again, I appreciate your time. Is there anything, if there was one thing you could say for the experience overall, is there anything you would like to add or um, anything just in general you'd like to say?
No, I like that, I feel like you guys are really thorough in what you were asking us for information on. I think the biggest pain in the butt that I've had was trying to get the information from the vendors
Hmm.
in order to give it to you. And I think they hold that stuff close to their chest because they don't want to be shopped. They don't want to be evaluated because they know they're going to have to give. And so that's been the biggest pain in the butt.
Hmm.
But like your end has been very thorough, I thought. And yeah, been, and it's funny because I know that you're saying is, and I'll probably butcher it, but um, you don't, you don't make a nickel until we make a dime. Is that
You
right?
you
Yeah.
remembered, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's funny because when I see your invoices, then like I know what my savings are because of your invoices, and that
Hmm.
seems funny to like get an invoice and think, oh, this is money saved, but it is like it
Hmm.
shows me that, and I appreciate that, and um, think it's great. I think it's one of those things where sometimes it might seem too good to be true, especially when dealing with like the finance people, the controller who wants to say this doesn't make sense. And it's like, trust the process, you'll see. And I don't think I can ever make the controller happy, but
But we can try.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes you just gotta take the chance and let it prove itself. And it has. So
Excellent. Well, again, I really appreciate your time. It's great to see you again. And
you
I will
too.
just, again, very quickly say happy early birthday because you just
Thank
told me you're
you.
turning, you have a big birthday next week. I'll
I
just
have a
say
big birthday.
that.
Thank
Yeah.
you for keeping it private.
I appreciate it, Kris. Have a great rest of the day.
You too.